So Namibia has condemned German move to represent Israel or to defend Israel's case or to reject South Africa's case against Israel in the International Court of Law. Namibia is not happy about that. In fact, Germany, out of brotherhood, I guess, with Israel, decided to make a comment via some of the politicians saying that the claim that South Africa has against Germany with regard to Gaza was completely absurd. Therefore, Germany is ready to defend Israel for that.
Deutschland steht an der Seite Israels.
Germany stands by Israel's side. We will support the country and we support its right to self-defense.
Now, let me put into perspective for you. Namibia is a beautiful country in Africa. Here is a map. Okay, lovely place. I think it's one of the only places on earth where you can find the ocean next to the desert. So you have a massive desert on the right and the ocean on the left. I know there are some other places like that, but one of the most prominent places in the world. Lovely place. Namibia was colonized by the Germans. So basically before, as it always goes, Africans used to live at peace with themselves in their lands. So did Namibians until Germans came. When they came in peace, and very quickly they changed. They became very hostile. So they took land from Namibians by force, then forcing them to work the land. They stole cattle, they took everything Namibians had, and they made it theirs. And let me remind you that at the time, Germany was a very, very strong power across the world. So German people did some of the most horrendous things in Namibia. And the president of Namibia does not believe Germany has the right to open its mouth regarding what's happening between Israel and Palestine, because Germany has done a lot of atrocious things, not just in Germany, but all across the world. The president wanted to remind Germans of what they did in their country. Germans came into Namibia, they took over the land, they took cattle, they enslaved Namibians. Namibia major tribes are Herero, Nama, Danama, and Sans. And then they took some of these people and put them in the most horrendous positions ever. In 1904, Herero lead chief Samuel Herero led a campaign against Germany. So this is a Namibian person in 1904 that said, you know what, enough is enough. We will not accept this. The problem with us Africans generally is we accept people coming in peace, not knowing that these people most of the time actually happen to do negative things to us. And this leader from the Herero group got some of his people and they fought against the Germans in 1904. In the beginning, it was pretty good. They tried very hard. They pushed the Germans back. They actually put out 123 German leaders. And then the Germans came back with force. And obviously, Germany being at the time one of the most powerful nations in the world in terms of army, they crushed them really, really bad. And after crushing them, and then Namibian came back again, and they were doing just okay. And they tried to have a negotiation between the Germans and Namibians in order to have an agreement so they can progress. However, a few months later, Germany sent Lieutenant Lothar von Trotha, and this man was one of the most evil people ever. This man came into Namibia, completely disregarding the agreement the Namibians had with the Germans, and attacked the Namibians. He issued an order to completely finish everybody. Finish everybody. They didn't look at men, women, children. Everything was taken. It was absolutely horrendous. One of the darkest moments ever. Until November 1904, where they removed him, and then Germany reversed their policy. And they took Hereros into captivity. They put them into camps. They were not finishing them anymore. I'm trying to avoid the words because we're getting sanctioned. They did not finish them anymore. They put them into camps where they were riddled by diseases and anger, and many of them fell. They say 80% of Namibian population was by the Germans. So how dare they today to stand against South Africa in its case, trying to defend Gaza, say the president of Namibia. I mean, you haven't even recognized what you've done to us. The genocide you've done to Namibian, you have not really recognized, not fully. Because many years ago, Germany refused to recognize what they did to Namibians. After a lot of pressure, many years later, they brought some of the stuff that they kept. So in fact, let me put it this way for you, and I hope you're going to understand. They took this of the Herero people, they took it to Germany to keep it in museums. Yes, this of the Namibian people to Europe for people to come and visit and see. And also to confirm that it was superior race compared to everybody else. Later on, some of the Germans came to come and give back some of the things they gave. You know, after a lot of pressure, they were like, okay, we're going to give back some of the things we took away from you. But even though they recognized what they did was wrong, they never really gave back what they took away. They didn't recognize the way they recognized for the Jewish people, because the Jewish people got compensation. Okay, they got something back for what, and of course, it doesn't bring the people that are gone back into life. but they got something reasonable, something respectable back to their community. Some people accuse Mercedes-Benz of participating on things that Germany did to during the war. Now, the president of Namibia is somebody very interesting. President Reinhob. I know I've murdered his name. Reinhob, please correct me. Reinhob. There was a moment where a German politician came to Namibia, and after he arrived in Namibia, he started complaining about Namibia. Listen to what he said.
Whereas in Namibia, for example, the number of Chinese people living here in the meantime is 4 times as much as, for example, the German community. And it's not precisely the same what takes place all over the world. There are differences. And what I'm...
Mr. Speaker, What is your problem with that? Why does it become your problem? it looks like it's a more European problem than our problem.
Yeah.
You are so sorry for us. I don't see... Chinese will never come and play around here. As Germans not allowed to do that. Which Germans are doing, by the way. You talk about Chinese. We allow Germans to come offer visas here. Red carpet. Our people are harassed in Germany. Even diplomatic passport holders in Germany. And you come in here, Germans come in here as they want. So why Chinese talk about Germans? How we are treating us there? Chinese don't treat us like that.
So the German politician said, I've come to Namibia and what I'm seeing is a lot of Chinese people. I'm seeing Chinese all over the place. Everywhere I turned in Namibia, I saw Chinese people. This man just arrived and he's complaining about Chinese people. And then he says, this is not okay. I see very little Germans here. I don't see Chinese people. As if Namibia belonged to Germany. You know the mentality, that's the colonialist mentality. We ruled over you for many years. Now we're very upset that you have Chinese all over the place and you don't have Germans. And President gave him one of the coldest answer ever. He said, what is it? Do you feel sorry for us? Do you understand that we were coming from a reunion, from a meeting somewhere across the world, and by the time our people with diplomatic passport had to go through Germany, you disregarded them. You treated them like trash. The treatment Namibian diplomatic body got into Germany was shameful. Yeah, so they were treated like, are you trying to run away in Germany? Are you trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like you Africans, you're in our country, we need to treat you in a way that is African. So normally, fellas, when you have a diplomatic passport, you have a lot of, liberty, a lot of freedom. Certain things they do with normal people with normal passport, they would not do to you because you represent your government, your country. They can't search you as a diplomatic passport holder. They can't even arrest you. Even when you do wrong as a diplomatic passport, you have immunity. But these people, so the government people of Namibia going through Germany face some of the harshest treatment ever. So he reminded them, you can't come in our country and tell me how we should live, what we should do, what type of friendship we should have with anybody across the earth. It's our choice. Okay, see, never you will see in China, the treatments you're giving us. I don't know how accurate that is, but yeah, he said it. So basically, the president of Namibia said it very clearly. My support is towards South Africa. Okay, I support South Africa that has taken Israel to court, to the International Court of Law, to respond to its actions against Palestinians in Gaza. Because many people believe, even though some negative things, actually bad things, really bad things came from Hamas into Israel, doing wrong things that should be condemned, those people did not deserve what happened to them from Hamas. The response of Israel was not proportionate to the pain and the hurt they receive, because even though they say they're focusing on a group specific of Hamas people, the world can clearly see that people that are suffering right now are not necessarily Hamas people. So South Africa, and I was very surprised to see that, was the country to come forward and go accuse Israel and receive support from only Namibia in all of Africa. I mean, fellas, let's talk about this. Namibia has been the only country of Africa that is supporting South Africa in its task against Israel. How do you explain that? Is that lack of solidarity from Africans? Are they afraid of the repercussion that may have in return from the US or Israel? Because when you talk about Israel, you're talking about US as well. They're always together. Do you think African countries are scared to speak out? Do you think you can really be free or pretend to be free if you are afraid to express yourself? Doesn't matter what side you stand from. And I think you also think that the most basic thing is to be able to express yourself without fear of anything. Now, if you have fear to express yourself, you have fear to say how you feel, are you truly, really free? My question is this, fellas. Where are African nations? I mean, whether South Africa is right or wrong. I mean, most of you think South Africa is correct in its fight. Whether they're right or wrong, let's even say they're wrong. It doesn't really matter. Shouldn't people have the right to express themselves, in their conviction? Shouldn't you support your brother or whoever you think is your brother? Because the bottom line is very simple. It doesn't matter which way Israel goes. The United States of America will always be behind them. Just like Joe Biden and other people say, always. America will always, in the future, it doesn't matter. They don't say, as long as you are within your rights. They say, we will always be behind you. Where are the brothers of South Africa? Where are African nations? My question is, can Africa actually come together for one thing? Help each other. Fight the same fight. Are African actually brothers like they pretend? My brother. That's why I don't call me my brother. I'm not your brother. If you call me, I will slap you if you call me my brother. I'm not your brother. For me to be your brother, you need to show me in action. I don't need you to call me. I'm not your brother. Go ask your mommy who your brothers are. Can Africans come together for one subject, fight the same fight, help each other, support one another? Are we that scared? This shows you what may have happened in the past during slavery. People just let each other go. Oh, you take him. Are you on the other? Take one too. Instead of fighting together against the outsider. And let's put the South African and other case to the side. Isn't this what happened in the past, where they came into Africa to take people? No, just take him. Give me a lighter. I need the lighter. Or give me whatever, a mirror. Take him until we can actually stand behind each other. I'm sure Russia is laughing in South Africa. Look at all these Africans you thought they were your brothers. Where are they? Russia is certainly laughing. Where are all these Africans? But you want to open Africa so everybody can go else. How? How can we open borders if we cannot even fight for one another? And this is not just Africans. Where are all the Muslim countries? Where are all the Arab countries? Doesn't matter who's right, who's wrong. Aren't you supposed to lean towards your people? Where are